Hello, Blair Bears, all around the world, internationally, globally, around the planet, and probably even intergalactically. We are back here today with another episode of Spaced Out with Blair Socci. And just to remind you, as we form this podcast, a podcast about pop culture, womanhood, mental health, and a little bit about aliens. And also all my weird-ass special interests. And now, you guys, I cannot tell you how goddamn pleased I am to introduce today's guest. He is just the most internationally loved man, comedian, very famous, Wil Anderson. Welcome, Wil.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Wil, the office was a buzz.
A buzz?
Before you entered. Everyone was just...
In this office here?
Yeah, I'm putting on my timer, you know how comedians do, so that I can know how long we yap for.
Yeah, nice. Did you feel like this was the right time to do that? You didn't
no,
think that
didn't.
like 3 minutes ago wouldn't have been?
I just forgot. Or somebody, was supposed to remind me to
Yes,
do
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
I noticed that you had a person whose specific job it was to remind you of
Right.
that, and they did not do that.
Right. Now, Wil, it is my honor to have you here.
Thanks for having me. It's my
Yeah.
honor to be here.
Yeah, you have a lovely aura.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
It's all yellow. What does that mean?
I don't
once
know.
had it like a photo taken
you
of my
did?
aura, and it was like all golden and yellow
Is that
behind.
true?
Yeah,
Is
that's
yellow
a true
good?
story. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No.
It's something I'd like to know.
Coldplay wrote a song about it.
That's true.
Do you think that might have been about aura photographs? I don't know. I've never looked into the lyrics of Coldplay's Yellow.
Maybe, I don't know. The one time I went to SNL, I saw him,
Chris Martin?
yeah, I saw him perform on that tiny little stage.
Uh-huh.
And it was so interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like this has
Do you
started
like him?
well. Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah.
You know what here's what I will say.
He's probably listening, so be careful
Is
what
he
you say.
listening? Chris
Well,
Martin
I
from
imagine
Coldplay?
everyone listens to this podcast.
Okay,
so.
you know what? He probably does listen
Yeah.
because when he was in Melbourne, Australia, when
Right.
Coldplay were doing their gigs,
Right.
he went to an open mic stand-up comedy night the night before they played in front of
all the
50,000
rockers
people.
want to be comedians.
So, I mean, I
and
guess...
you were there? Why were you at the open mic?
I wasn't there. Chris Martin from
you heard-
Coldplay was there.
No, I know, but you heard word from the other comedians.
Yeah, from the open micers.
Okay, I was worried you were there.
No, but it's pretty... I mean, if Chris Martin from Coldplay comes to your open mic gig, word gets around.
Sure. That would be very
People
surprising.
are talking about it.
I know that happens at the Comedy Store in LA. Like, you get these rappers that come in and they just expect to be put on stage, and then they
Hang on, to be put on stage?
Yeah.
What do you mean put on stage?
They put them on.
They just put them on? To rap?
No, to do comedy.
These rappers are coming in and just getting up on
Yeah, because
stage
it's
and
like
doing
their
comedy.
dream. I mean, like, yeah, it happens at the Comedy Store in LA sometimes.
But
and we get bumped.
But are you allowed to go down to, like, I don't know, Nicki Minaj's gig and just say, step aside, Nicki, I want to do a type 5 here?
No, I'm not. And if you can imagine, they would shove me away at the door immediately. They would say, "Excuse me, get out of here, freaky little white girl. You cannot rap, and nor can you sing."
You never sung? I imagine you would be a good singer. You've got a vibe of somebody who'd be a good singer.
That's very kind of you.
Do you know what I mean?
Because much like Chris Martin from Coldplay, who wants to be an open micer, I would prefer to be a singer. Can you imagine the relief of just being sincere?
Uh-huh.
Every night of your goddamn life singing from the depths of your soul?
Would you be a very sincere singer, do you think? Is it going to be, would it be all like paeans to love and like, analogies that using just common everyday things to express, painful love stories, Taylor Swift style? Is that what we're thinking?
Probably, but like also it'd be cool and I'd have fun like pool dance music, and I would also, but then yeah, of course there would be these, I'm a deeply, deeply sensitive woman, as you'll come to learn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
So there would be a lot to come up there. How about you?
Yeah.
What do you think you would be? Would you ever be interested in singing?
No, I would not be interested in singing, and nobody else would be interested in me singing.
Same with no one would be interested in me singing either.
See, but you definitely have the vibe of someone.
I have the vibe. I
You've
have
got
the
vibe.
soul. I have the
Yeah.
essence, and I also understand melody. The
Yeah.
voice is not there.
Yeah.
So God can't give everything. You know what I mean? sometimes mean people on the internet, you've probably come across them once or twice, like to comment on my voice. They say I sound like RFK Jr. Or Tom Waits' Barbie. Or if Velcro was a person.
You know what? Here's what I would actually say to them. That they're meanies and they should have a look at their own lives before they comment on your voice.
That's
I
what
feel
I
like your
fucking
voice
say.
is like quite delightful. I know
Thank
you're
you.
fascinated by the idea of aliens in space. You know, sometimes they send music into space, right? Like so that aliens can hear. This is like Earth music. Here's an example of, what it is that we send into space.
And I love that. And that means at least one person in the government has a little bit of goddamn whimsy.
So would you like something of yours being would you be happy if we sent your voice, a bit of your material or something out into space to be the first thing that aliens encountered when they were looking for human civilization?
I'm not sure that I have the idea of myself that I would be the representative of all of mankind.
Well, what if people
if I
came
was a
to
male
you?
comedian, I know the answer would be immediately yes, of course.
I've already sent up a special. That'd be the male comedian. I've been shooting them up into space from my backyard on a nightly basis, trying to go viral. Yeah, that's right. We've actually set up a new mothership. It's an
Yes.
actual spaceship mothership, and we're doing really edgy stuff.
Uh-oh, this is getting really controversial. This is going to get clipped up, everybody. Okay, Kill Tony's going to come for us after this. Will said it, not me. Will said it, not me. Okay, so Will, oh my God,
Yes,
this is going to
all
be
right.
too fun. You know what? We start this podcast by doing Freako Fact of the Week.
Okay.
And what's going to happen is I'm going to go first. And I don't know if you were told to bring one. Were you?
I don't know how freako my facts are, but I have a couple.
That's totally fine.
You can judge.
No, there's no judging here. Everything's open to interpretive. We're in
You can
outer space.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Mine is. I hope you guys are ready. Blair Bears, get ready. You're gonna be and get your eyebrows and eyelashes fried off your face. A man in Indonesia married his rice cooker because he liked it because it didn't speak. However, he divorced it 4 days later because all it did was cook rice.
That's on him.
I know. He's really wanting a one-dimensional partner.
You know
if
what?
You ask me.
Don't go into a relationship, though, also expecting that person can change. Like, accept them for what they are. Like, if you're going to marry a rice cooker, you've got to accept that they are a rice cooker.
Oh, my God, we
and
got to
that
clip
you've
this.
got to be happy for the rest of your life if they remain to be a rice cooker. Now, you can encourage them to be other things. You can be with them when they sit down late at night and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I would like to cook other things other than rice. Maybe a little quinoa sometimes. Maybe we could try an ancient grain of sometimes, a superfood. Maybe you could put acai berry or something in me occasionally just for fun. You've got to be there and support your partner, but you can't marry someone on potential. You can't look at a rice cooker and say it's a fixer-upper. I imagine in 4 days from now it'll be a paella pan. Like, that just is unreasonable expectations to go into a relationship, I think, Blair, don't you?
You are so wise, Will.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Will.
that, yeah.
Wow, you are so wise. Did everyone hear that out there? I feel like this man just channeled Gandhi. And I will probably remember that for the rest of my life. Are you single, Will?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay. So what's your Freako Fact of the Week?
Okay, Freako Factor of the Week. Are you familiar with, this went around, now, look, okay. Did you know that we don't know how eels reproduce?
Yeah, I've totally known that my whole life, that I don't know how they reproduce.
Yeah, but did you know that, scientists don't know how they reproduce?
No, scientists need to get off their asses.
Scientists have never seen eels reproduce in the wild.
That's so crazy.
Right, so they don't technically, so there has been some observation of them in captivity of how they reproduce, but literally we don't in the wild, eels just appear. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God, this might be the best Freako Fact of the Week ever! What?
Yeah. They just
In the history of the world, nobody has ever seen. They just
them
appear?
reproduced. Yeah, in captivity they've observed it, but out in the wild it's never been observed.
So they've been seen in captivity.
Well, yes, but only recently, and they don't know if that's how because there has been examples throughout history of things reproducing differently in captivity than in the wild. So we still technically don't know how they reproduce in the wild.
Well, because that makes me think, and and I'm not biased or anything even a little bit, but that they could be extraterrestrial aliens if they just appear.
Right.
Like maybe they are secretly being dropped off, or they are swimming up, as Congress said they could be in the oceans now.
Aliens.
Aliens! This man's a genius! What? Aliens? This is never before seen on this podcast. We are going to other dimensions right now, Will. Okay. Oh my God. Wow. This is off to an incredible start.
All right. Good.
Okay. I did give you some sun-kissed fruit snacks in case you get hungry.
Are you sponsored by sun-kissed fruit snacks?
No, I don't know what I'm sponsored by yet.
Okay.
Because obviously this is probably going to be a global hit, and I'll have my pick of the litter. But I probably shouldn't be giving anyone free advertisement. But I want to give my guests an hors d'oeuvre, a little charcuterie.
I like it.
Okay. Update on my life, Will.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you're dying to know.
I am dying to know.
Okay. So last night I went to this place called Frequency Lab. Have you heard of that?
No. What is it?
It's this place in Newtown.
Yeah.
And Adam and Antra, my new dearest friends and family, brought me there. And as you can imagine, well, you don't know this about me, but I like to investigate the deepest recesses of all spiritual possibilities inside me.
What does that mean?
I was raised Catholic, but I've always prayed. But now I don't like religion at all because I don't like rules, and I don't really like the way it turns out, though I respect everybody who has any faith that whatever they want is great for them, in my opinion. But for me, I just think that God is divine, loving intelligence. And I've, over the years, left no stone unturned. I've been studying psychology for like 20 years, and I've done ayahuasca, and I've done every meditation certification and all this shit. Anyways, we went to Frequency Lab because they told me that I would really like it. And it's like this sound immersion thing, and there's only 2 in the world. One was in Bali, and then they just opened it in Newtown. And this is a massive advertisement for them, but it's so incredible. I hope everyone sees it, and they deserve it because it's so incredible. But it's like sound bath healing, frequency healing, but with these lights that make it psychedelic. And also you're on a waterbed with the speakers in the waterbed that's heated, so it's like your whole body's it's the closest psychedelic experience I've ever had outside of doing the ayahuasca.
It's outside of psychedelics.
Yes, but no drugs.
Okay, so all right, you're gonna have to slow this down for me because
sorry, I just got so excited.
No, that's okay because I didn't know how it was going to end. It ended so well because I thought for a second this was going to be a story about something that you did not enjoy, but this is something that you thought was fantastic.
Oh no, it was incredible.
And there's only 2 of them. You're telling me there's only one in Bali and there's one here in Sydney, nearby to here. I mean,
truly less than a mile away.
I got to be honest with you. How long did this whole entire experience take?
It was 50 minutes or something.
I mean, I could do that on the way home.
I want you to go.
I could do it today.
No, please.
After this.
I want you to.
So run me through it. Run me through it again. How does it work? What am I doing? I'm laying on a waterbed. What am I wearing on my waterbed? I'm just in my normal clothes?
Yes, but
they don't make you get into any sort of robe or outfit or pajamas.
No, not at all. Nothing
like that.
No,
right?
I wore just a very layman's but chic because I was wearing pair of sweats.
Of course, yeah. Okay. Well, am I on the bed by myself?
Yes,
they're in a room
small.
by myself.
They're no, you're with 12 people, but
we're
everyone's
all in the
on
same
individual.
room.
Yeah. Individual
Are you okay
beds.
with that?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done so many of these types of things.
Yeah.
A million. But this is nothing compared to the things that I have involved myself in the million lives I've had just in this one.
All right. So you're laying in there. Was it 11 other people? Was it a full room?
But you don't notice anyone else is in there.
Okay. All right. So
you're so it goes so deep inside you in your brain, and it opens your pineal gland. And
how? What happens? Give me more of the process.
So you know what a sound bath is?
No, not really. I know what the two words are. Like I'm familiar with both a bath and sound.
Sure. No,
So
I would never
imagine
think
that
otherwise.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would never
I don't want you to come to
condescend
my
to you.
country and think I don't know what a sound or a bath is. But
No, I would never. I would never
thank you. I
assume
appreciate
something like that.
Blair.
Oh my
thank
God.
you. No, I know.
No,
It's okay.
we are all God's children, equal under God, but not the Christian nationalist God of my country.
Yes, the universal sound bath of endless love. I get it. I understand what you're talking about.
No.
So,
Sorry, I'm speaking too vaguely, Will.
tell me specifically. I want to know. That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm a person who needs to know what other steps that I am going to have to take to reach this enlightenment.
No, I
I'm coming
understand.
into this place. I'm laying down on a bed in a room with 11 other people.
And of course,
But we're all fully clothed.
of course,
And will remain so for the entire hour. Yes?
yes, and you're all in your separate little
no
individual.
touching?
No touching.
No touching. Good.
Individual water beds. There's blankets. It's really cool. But sound bath is really like these glass bowls that people play that make these like healing sounds, and then there's all these other like bells and chimes that go to frequencies that activate certain things, vibrational levels, different higher levels of consciousness in our brains, like theta waves and other types of different states that the brain can enter. And then it's just so immersive. And then it's like your body, like I really felt my body being healed, and I was like, it felt like it was healing my brain.
Really? Mm-hmm. Sound. Just
Have
like
you ever done meditation?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that something you're interested in or no?
Well, I mean, I don't mind. Like, I'm a very present person in general, so I like that idea
You seem
of.
that way, yeah.
I like the idea of trying to be as like in the moment as you can possibly be at all times.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Yeah.
And I am quite a mindful person,
Okay.
and I am open-minded to the idea that like there are like I've done my fair share of. Like, I did tend to take the quicker route to the psychedelic thing by just taking the psychedelics rather than the sound bath of it all. But I don't mind the idea of a Monday afternoon sound bath. Like, is this a thing that is appropriate to do during the day?
Oh, totally.
Like,
Big time.
It's not like it doesn't have to be a nighttime activity.
No,
I could just pop down there this afternoon and get a
it's
little
not like
healed.
freaky or anything.
Nah.
Like, but I will say, like, I've been to many other sound baths where you're just laying in a room where someone's playing bowls, and it's beautiful and stuff, and it's like calming and heart opening. But this is way different because it's like coming through on the water, like through the waterbed, and it's like you and like just everything, like you're fully immersed is really, really cool.
I mean, I just want to know who was that first person who was like, you know what, this sound bath is pretty good, but what if we made them waterbeds?
I know.
Like just that one person in the sound bath industry is like, I think I've got the next step in our evolution, waterbeds.
It's true.
Plus, it's also
No,
great.
it's a genius.
And it's great for big waterbed because I reckon waterbeds haven't been that fashionable in modern day society. Everything's about memory foam and stuff like that. Whereas your waterbed, your staple of your 70s bedding is now back, but in a like it's been repositioned as a healing device.
Well, I have to agree with you. I haven't heard a word about a waterbed in years. I don't think I've heard a word about a waterbed since like 1995, even though I was not alive then.
I didn't even know you could get a single waterbed. Didn't feel like
think
back
they
in
were
the day of the
specially made.
waterbed.
I think they were
that was a
specially
thing,
made.
right?
Yeah.
The waterbed wasn't for single people. The waterbed was for loving.
The freaky people.
Right, yeah.
The 70s freaky people.
Exactly.
Okay, I must move on.
Right.
I have so many things to get to.
Please, get to them all.
I truly have so many questions that I need to
You can ask whatever
ask
questions you want to ask.
So the other two updates on my life.
All right, great.
Finally had a flat white. It was really good.
Okay.
Because I've been having quite a journey ordering coffees here.
What did you start with? I was drinking a flat white when I came in here today, so I like that. That would be my position that I would go to immediately flat white. But what did you start with?
Okay, well, I just have to explain to the Blair Bears that a flat white here is like an Americano with a little bit of milk. And when I came here, I first ordered an iced coffee, and they said like, they were really confused, and I said, oh, just, I don't know, with like a little, and then I got really nervous. I was like, I don't know, just like maybe with like a little cream or milk or something. And they said, you want ice cream in the thing? And I said, no. And they said, iced latte? And I said, sure, fine. And then just, totally buckled in front of the line and then it kept the iced latte was like full milk. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting 20 pounds a day. And like, then I wrote online. I said, okay, Australia, like, what's the deal? How do you get like an iced coffee? And they were like, oh, idiot, you just order. We understand English. And no, they all wrote,
You do the best impression of the internet of all time. Like, that is the comments under anything that anybody ever posts on the internet. You could just post in what you just said then as a summary. That was the AI, that is the Blair GPT summary of every response to anything that's posted on the internet.
No, but then, and again, I have said this on probably one episode before, but then everyone wrote, what you're looking to order is an iced long black with a dash of milk. And I said, excuse me, that is not appropriate. I am not ordering that. You need, oh my God, I'm blushing. Like, I couldn't say that. You guys clearly don't have any black people in your country.
Yeah,
I did order it, and my face turned beet red. I was like, let's look back with a little bit of a piece and sugar. And then I turned away in just pornographic shame, you know.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, I feel like that would be an uncomfortable thing to say out loud. Like, you're just like, hang on. Like, in Canada, they have a sports store, a brand called Roots, 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 right? And like in Australia, that's like slang term for sex, roots, right? Like,
really?
Yeah. So it's not a
I'm really learning all about your guys' nomenclature.
This is true, but people would say, like, you know, did you root that person? Like, as in, did you have sex with that person, right? So when the Canadians in their, like, you know, just like Happy Family Store had a segment that said Roots Kids for children's wear, like, it was to Australians quite offensive. Right. But it was just language, right?
I know.
It's just mistaken language.
Something to remember.
Right?
Yeah,
just in different countries.
And I got used to it. I did what you guys said, and I did acquire the coffee that I desired finally.
Did you feel more comfortable ordering a flat white than a...
Yeah, which... I don't know if that much is much better, but yeah, I did. I did, at least, so, you know, I wasn't making some sort of... Okay, and then the last update on my life is last night I woke up in the middle of the night and I did once again lose my war against online shopping.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
I love to shop online.
In the middle of the night?
Sometimes when I wake up and it's just like, oh, wow, I'm awake. Like, I'll just, you know.
What are you shopping for online?
I get something in my head and then like...
In the middle of the night?
If I have a weak moment. I am grieving very difficultly right now. I lost my brother.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you. It's very hard. I'll probably start crying right now. I'll try not to. But one of my ways of coping has been online shopping.
Okay, well, if it's a coping mechanism and it's not getting out of control, then that's actually a perfectly healthy thing to be able to do. In a time of grief, if there's something that's making you feel a little bit happy and giving you some respite from that, do you think it's a problem? Are you doing it too much? Does this feel like therapy now? I'm so sorry. I heard those words come out of my mouth and I'm like, so what brought you here today?
That's fine.
Why don't you tell me why you think you're doing this late night shopping? Do you have the budget for it, Blair? Is it okay?
Not really.
Is it within your means?
I'm not going into debt or anything like that.
Well, that's okay. Are you buying stuff you need? Is it stuff you actually need or want?
It's if I want and enjoy.
Like what? Give me an example.
I don't need anything.
Give me an example of one thing that you might be buying.
I got this like leather jacket I really wanted for like 2 years.
All right, that's
okay.
Secondhand?
No.
But that's a different judgment. Don't worry.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm starting a new thing too called because we've been doing Complainers Corner where you can anything that you want to have a complaint about. But then I was thinking today, since I already had a deep cry about RJ. RJ's my brother. You Blair Bears know that this morning. I was like, today I'll do Blair's favorite things.
Okay, great.
And so I already did Frequency Lab, which I recommend you go on the way home.
I honestly, I'm going to look into that. You've convinced me.
Yeah, and then so my other favorite things that just came about this morning, besides these fruit snacks that I'm enjoying with my new friend, are rose oil. Love it.
Rose oil? What are you doing with the rose oil?
I'm putting it on my skin. I love the smell of roses. I'm really into roses. And then I read this thing after I had already started that there was this 30-day study that women who put it on their skin for 30 days grew like 40% more gray matter in their brain.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be true.
How do you know? What, are you in the lab, Wil? What are you in the lab, Wil, with the aliens? How do you know? Have you been? Do you have the hard data in front of you?
Hang on. But is it a once-off? I just need to. Okay. Let's say I believe it, Blair. I believe it.
Sure,
I
sure.
believe it.
Yeah.
You know what? Great. That is a great fact. If
Beautiful
I put rose
acting.
oil for 30 days, 40% more grey matter. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I
And
don't
does
know.
it work every month? So is it 40% more in a cumulative sense over? So I could, if I just did it for an entire year, I could have like 40% times 40% each time, right?
NASA actually hasn't faxed over the continuation of the studies yet, but I'm sure I will have
Right,
those
okay.
answers very soon. But
But it's nice. It smells nice. It makes you feel good.
It does
right?
make me feel good,
Yes.
and it's not an endocrine disruptor. And I will say, also, I have no idea if it was 40%. That just sounds. I
Yeah.
forget what it was.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's always good to just throw around statistics, I think.
No, but then I have to come completely clean because I am autistic, so I don't want to lie.
Okay. All right. That's okay.
And then the other thing, two things, are Cardi B "Am I the Drama" album.
Yes.
Really helping me every time I'm feeling weak and cryy. I turn it on and it turns me really tough. You know.
What is it about that album? I've listened to that album too. I like it. I'm a Cardi B fan. What is
I
it
love
about
Cardi
that?
B.
Yeah.
She's just like, and she's like, and she's so funny and she's so herself. And then like anyone who comes at her, like she's like, yo, like I came up like this. You can't like nothing. You can't shame me.
Yeah.
I just keep winning.
Yeah.
I don't feel. I'm not like I don't feel that sort of personality. So I feel really. I like it.
Yeah. It can inspire you to be like more like that.
Yeah, because I was a very, very hardcore athlete my entire life, and so
Shut up.
Yeah, I
what
was.
sort of athlete?
Well, I played volleyball at UCLA and like did all the Junior Olympics and all that.
Really?
Yeah, and
Interesting.
and I surfed and I did beach volleyball and everything, but it was like my whole life growing
that
up.
right?
But then, so I was like really like that, and I was,
Yeah.
I was the youngest of older brothers, so I was really like
Competitive.
so competitive. I was like always the best, and like I'd get, and I was so short that they would all talk shit to me, and I
Because
get.
I was going to say, volleyball, don't you need to be tall?
No, I'm like a little guy.
You're allowed to be little in volleyball. I don't know much about volleyball.
No, you're not allowed to. But Wil,
Right.
I could
You
sky.
were anyway.
Wil, I could fucking sky into the. I could jump so high.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was a little
How high can
muncie
you jump?
bugs. Right now, probably like 1 inch. Back
But
then,
like back
28
then,
inches.
28 inches.
Yeah, no,
you could jump.
I had like a otherworldly vertical.
I mean, that seems a lot.
It's true though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting you.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah, that was how I was a little guy that did it so far.
Yeah.
Got so far.
That's incredible.
But anyways, the moral of that story is that I don't feel that in my life anymore as like an artist.
No.
I don't. And like
But
for
back
con-
then, you were like the Cardi B of volleyball.
I was when I was young and
Yeah.
I was like a hothead. Like
Right?
these girls would talk shit to me
Yeah.
and I would
And
never
you were
start
like,
it. I would
nah.
never start it. But they would be like 6'3",
yeah,
6'4".
because I'd be tall.
But then I would finish
Yeah.
it every time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Okay, and so then the last thing that I must bring up that's a favorite thing is Aquaphor, which has been my best favorite thing for my entire life. I love it.
What is this?
Aquaphor?
What is Aquaphor?
I keep giving like product placement
Yeah.
to this.
I know. This is actually good. Like, this is
entire
like.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's basically an alternative to Vaseline, but it's like my
Oh.
most important thing that I love.
Okay.
Put it all over my face, everything, all the
Healing
time.
ointment.
Yeah. It doesn't have any healing properties. It's just like a salve.
Yeah. But if you put some of this on and then went and had a sound bath,
I did do that.
Yeah. See, then
Yes.
it's fine, right?
Yes.
Then it has like associated healing properties, I
Yes.
would imagine, right?
Is
yeah.
it-
Okay. I don't know if this is an Australian brand though. I feel like
It's
you can
not.
only get this in America.
But I can send some over to you if you need it. No problem. To you and your partner that you have. And what do you have anything favorite that you need to
Ooh.
say from today or your life?
You know
before?
what? Can I? So we're in Sydney.
We are in Sydney,
at the
yeah.
moment, and I went to a cafe this morning called Single O,
Oh.
who are this like a Sydney cafe, but they're in Japan as well, like now. And I was wearing a hat from that cafe, which was very embarrassing. I had forgotten that so it looked like I was the biggest fan of that
Cheerleader.
cafe. Like, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
real embarrassing stuff.
But are you too cool for school type of guy?
I don't.
Because like I would have walked in there and been like,
You would have been happy with it. You were like,
I'm your biggest fan. I'm here because I love all of you so much from the depths of my soul.
See? Well, that's that Cardi B coming back out. So
But I
where's
don't
that?
think that is. Because
Yeah.
I don't think that's what that Cardi B
But
is.
I think that is part of it. That's
Really?
part of that attitude of going, I'm wearing your hat. I'm here. I'm your biggest fan.
No, but that's like
But people
love
would not
and
do that.
appreciation for others.
Yeah, that's okay too, though. That's big.
That's not like
Love and appreciation for others in that sense is like, it can be uncool to be that love and appreciative in that
but-
big way, right?
yes, but I never think about.
Yeah.
I never consider being cool.
But that's what I mean. That's
I'm
why it's so
uninterested
cool.
in that.
Yeah. And that's the
Only
coolest thing
cool
of
people
all.
don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Cafe O.
Oh, yeah. Single O, it's called.
Oh, it's called Single O. Okay, that's Wil Anderson's favorite thing of
Yeah.
the week, and everybody go see Single O. And I will try to go in my last few days left before they force me to leave this country that I never want to leave.
We're not forcing you to leave.
I know you're right. I made that up.
Yeah, but don't blame us. We'd love you to stay.
I want to say
You seem
so
a real
bad.
delight. I feel like we'd like to have you. You can, like, honestly, if you want to be here, like, how many months of the year would you like to be here? You can be, if we could just, like, let's just make it happen. Let's wish it into existence.
Okay.
If you could split your time between where you're from and like living out here and being here or visiting here, even
Yeah.
holidaying here,
Yeah.
whatever it is, how much time would you like to spend here? Give us a number.
6 months.
6 months. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, at
Half
least.
the year.
Like if
Yeah.
but I'm really close with my family is the only thing.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
that like
They
it
can
keeps
come.
me. But I swear,
Where are they?
they're in Southern California.
One flight.
Yeah, that's.
One flight. Direct flight.
I love how you Aussies think that like a 15-hour flight is like no big
One
deal.
flight.
Like-
you get on in one airport and you get off in another
And
airport.
it made me laugh. I'm like, this is the
One
longest flight I've ever been on in my life. I prepared for days, mentally, emotionally, physically.
You know, they've come up with a plane that can fly from Australia to London, which is like 24 hours or
That's
whatever.
what Antra was
Yeah.
telling me. And she's like, it's very far. And, she's like, but the U.S. is no big deal. I was like, are you kidding me, bitch?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Okay, Will. Oh, my God, I have
Yes.
so many questions.
Okay, well, let's ask them then.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming here.
That's all right. My pleasure.
This is so cool.
Oh.
Okay. Will, you are a stand-up comedian.
I am a stand-up comedian.
And
yes.
how do you feel about stand-up comedy in this current cultural moment? Do you think it's cool or loser behavior?
Interesting. Both.
Right.
I think mostly a loser behaviour, but a bit cool as well, or it can be cool. I think that, what people think that the world of comedy is so diverse, and sometimes the media's coverage of comedy seems to be all one thing.
Yeah, the
And-
pendulum
right? And people go,
swings.
it's all that.
Back and
Right?
forth.
But
yeah,
it's not. And
right.
it never is. Even
Right.
in the times where people think it's all one thing,
Yeah.
it never is just all one thing. There are so many different brilliant things going on
Right.
all the time. So
Right.
there's always cool things.
Okay.
And there's a lot of loser behaviour.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say,
Any specific names that you really want to name?
let's get a clip.
yeah.
Should we get? Where's my camera? If I just want to look at,
and you like my robot Elysian cameras?
I mean,
They kind of look alive, don't they?
I will say that like we already are in space.
Yeah.
But the fact that your cameras also look like robots is a little terrifying. I
walked
don't
in.
know if you've noticed, but I've given you the most intense. Firstly, I love that you're wearing your glasses because I have been giving you the most intense eye contact for most of this. Partly because I am terrified of those cameras.
Oh.
Every time I look over there, I'm just like, no, it feels like a Doctor Who episode.
Oh, I know,
really-
Will. Yeah, and rightfully so. When I walked in, I said, oh, I love this company. They're so literal with my motif, They're really joining me on these robots that are seemingly probably alive.
Yeah, it's fun to have this chat when we feel like we might be murdered by technology at any moment during it.
Or they want to save us, I always kind of have an idealist idea, but I wear the sunglasses for the same idea, for protection.
Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes you got to keep a little bit of yourself to yourself.
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay, Wil, thank you. How do you feel, even though you did not give us names, so maybe I'll try to trick you again at the end. How do you feel about women in general? Do you prefer them to men?
My audience is slightly more female than male.
Oh, it is?
But only like about 55-45, but yeah, slightly more female than men. I think that I've always talked probably more to women. My dad, I think partly because I grew up on a farm. Dad was like a very old school, farmer dad, very distant dad, lovely guy, but kind of raised by mum, dairy farm, cows, milking cows.
Okay.
So and so he so I think around women growing up, you tended to be when you're a kid, the wives of the farmers were the kind of the mothers, but that was more traditionally what it was back in those days, right?
Yeah.
And so generally when you're a kid, you're just around women all the time.
Oh.
And I think I just got used to talking to women and it was easier to talk to women. Then I was at high school. I was terrible. At our high school, you had a choice in about year 10 or something. You had to do woodwork or you had to do needlework. They were the two choices. And it was so old school that all the girls would do needlework and all the boys would do woodwork. But I just did needlework and it turns out it was great fun because the girls would just forget you were there after a while and you just learnt so much about what they thought.
It was like Inception for you.
I mean, it was a little undercover.
It was calculated.
I mean, it wasn't.
Did you get a girlfriend in there?
No.
Can you do any needlepoint?
Can I do needlepoint? There was a point, I had a pair of track pants that I had made myself that I wore for about 10 years,
Really?
Probably beyond the point where they were wearable, but because I had created them with my own hand, I'd never been more proud of anything in my entire life.
Making anything with your hands in this current day life of where we're speeding to only, technology, digital age is so satisfying.
Is it weird? This is such a side note, but the other day I saw a secondhand sewing machine and I literally thought, you know what? Maybe I will get a sewing machine. I wouldn't mind starting to make my own clothes. Is that
really
weird?
Cool. No, that's not weird at all.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
When I was growing up, at that time, and I won't say the year because I an indefinite, indescribable age.
Yeah.
I tell the listeners I'm a 100-year-old baby. When I would hear about my mother doing home ec class and sewing classes in public school in California, and she was actually in class with Sharon Tate's little sister.
Oh.
Yeah, during that whole time.
Wow.
But I would think that was so sexist back then that the girls had to learn all that shit. And now I'm like, God, that sounds great. I would love to learn that stuff. Yeah, because I love creative stuff and I love learning. I'm obsessed with learning. That sounds great. But when I was a kid, I was like, that's so they can't believe they make the girls do that and the dudes get to do the cool shit.
Oh, yeah, but also just in general with school, the amount of things that in retrospect you realise, I'm always it'd be great to learn how to speak French. They tried to teach me French for 5 years at school, and I really put up a barrier trying to stop learning French.
I know, that's so true. So you got really used to, you've always been a ladies' man, it sounds like.
No.
Oh, that's what I deduced from that. Okay.
No, I think that I'm not a very, because when you grow up on a farm, they expect you to be a
masculine man, yeah.
And I wasn't really that. I have soft hands. So not
Soft
really
hands.
soft hands.
Oh, so you weren't helping your father?
Well, I mean, I used to have to. This is a true story, actually. So when I was 15 years old, every morning before I would go to school, I would have to get up and I would go and have to milk the cows.
Right.
And so I would milk the cows for 2 hours before school.
That's like a movie.
Yeah.
That's how every movie starts.
Yeah. So there was
2 hours.
2 hours.
You must have been sleepy.
Yeah, it was. I would sleep on the bus on the way to school.
You would do that or what?
Well, to Dad's credit, they would pay us to do it.
Oh.
We weren't allowed to have the money
Wow.
until we turned 18 and we could buy a car. But that was like,
Oh my
it was a
God.
cool system actually.
See,
it was kind of good parenting.
They have nice
in
labor
retrospect.
laws here in this country, and everybody should take note. Okay.
Yeah, I probably got paid. That's true.
Yeah.
I would have got paid whatever the minimum wage for that was,
Oh, that's
which would have
cool.
been like $35 an hour or
Right,
something.
35, of course. And absolutely. 35, wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Here?
I think so. I mean, it depends
That's
on the
fucking
industry,
insane.
but yeah.
Well, now, of course, I'm an extremely rich comedian.
Successful person, of course.
Very, very
Yeah.
rich. The last time that I had a real job before I became a full-time comedian, I lied and became a computer coder when I was in grad school in New York. And they paid $36 an hour. And for our country, that's like an insane amount of money.
Yes.
And so when you say $36 an hour as like the minimum wage here, that's so crazy, because for me, that was like such a high-paying job for me to manage to keep my rent when I was learning how to be a comedian coming up in New York.
And could you code, more importantly? Did you know
well,
how
not
to...
at first. Of course not. No, I lied. Everything was a lie. Oh, no, I completely fabricated a resume and Googled questions that could potentially be asked. And then, of course, I didn't ever even think that I would ever get the job.
So what did you do once you got the job?
The first day, I wore a cute outfit and I went up to like the nerdiest looking guy and I asked him very nicely if I could just show, if he could, and I wrote down every single step, and it was basically the same shit every day. So then, yes, I did easily learn how to code.
Yes.
Could I do it now? No, I have no idea what I did. And then I only left because my boss kept telling me, well, I like randomly got cast on a MTV show. So I was leaving, but had I stayed, I would have had to leave soon because my boss kept telling me I had beautiful feet. So it was like who played who, So we both kind of got what we deserved. It was fair play.
No, that's... Everyone walked away happy.
But $36 an hour to me, I was a fucking king. It was incredible. Yes. Okay. So Wil?
Yes.
If you weren't a man and were a woman, what do you think the best part of being a woman would be?
Having doctors ignore my medical complaints.
Oh, those motherfuckers. I swear to God.
Not being paid quite as much for the same amount of work.
I was going to ask you the worst parts right after, but we can flip.
What would be the best part about being a woman? I mean, I think that, like, I don't know, like I don't really think that anything that I like about being a human is particularly about being a man, like I don't really think about going, the human experience, like reading a book or whatever.
You can piss in the street though.
As a woman or a man?
A man.
I mean, in Australia, you can piss in the street if you're a woman.
You can?
Yeah.
Someone should have told me that.
Yeah.
Nothing I like better than pissing in the street. I'm never not peeing. I'm always peeing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say, like, they like you to be discreet about it, but,
But you don't get arrested?
Well, I don't know what the actual rules are.
Oh, because in the U.S., if anyone finds you peeing, you get arrested.
Yeah.
And then you're on a sex offender list.
Oh, well, I don't think, let's not go that far.
But then you're allowed to be in the government if you do any sex crimes, so...
There's a lot of public toilets around here, so you should be able to find like places to go to the toilet.
I've noticed
regularly.
that it's actually really been incredible for me and my predicament, my lifelong bladder predicament, and obsession with constantly ingesting beverages. So I've had no trouble finding public toilet, which has been great because that is not the case over there.
Yeah, but because I think it is one of those things where because I'm not a public payer, even though I have the equipment to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't really like to do that. But if I go to a public restroom or whatever, then. So the other day I went into one. It was like one that I go to quite regularly. It's in the middle of Centennial Park, which is a very nice part of Sydney. It's a nice bathroom. It's like it's one of those ones.
Do you live in Sydney?
No, but I used to live in Sydney.
Oh,
Lived here
for how long?
25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so there's this beautiful park in the middle of town, and it has a beautiful kind of cafe with some nice bathrooms out the back. So if you ever caught short on a park walk, that's the place to go without a doubt.
Oh, thank you.
But then I go into there, and there is a red light flashing. Now, I've never been into a male bathroom where the emergency has been been so bad, and I've seen some awful stuff in male bathrooms where they've had a red flashing light. So
They have a light for if it's
It was
disgusting?
a light flashing, like an emergency warning light is what I thought was happening. It wasn't actually what was happening.
Is that in every bathroom though?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. It turns out that there wasn't even one in this bathroom, Blair, because what actually had happened was I had mistaken it for an emergency warning light. What actually was a cyclist who'd gone in for a wee, and he was still in his lycra, but he kept his flashing red light on the back of his helmet, and so
For
the entire.
God's sakes! That's insane!
So-
Why'd you do that to Will? Take your flashing helmet off. He scared the shit out of him.
Well, particularly because he's at a urinal with a flashing red light above
With
his
his
head.
helmet on at a urinal?
It's
That's so weird.
It is a little weird, isn't it? I mean, be yourself, but it's a little
Or no.
or no. Sometimes don't.
Okay, so what are the best parts about being a woman if you had to just imagine yourself a woman really fast?
I think I like the way that female friendships can talk so openly about their emotions and feelings with each other in a way that sometimes with your male friends that you would need to go to a sporting game or nudge each other in the leg a lot before you could ever get around to talking to about the thing that you actually need to talk about. I think that'd probably be a real positive. What are we doing?
We're looking at the cameras. Okay, because this is my favorite subject. This is my favorite subject, and I always write about it.
What?
And I always talk about it because I always say the best thing about being a woman is the female friendship, and that men will truly never know. But then anytime I say that on the internet, they all get so fucking mad and they go, actually, girls fucking hate each other and they're so mean to each other. I said, no, that hasn't been my experience at all. They're the most nourishing, easy, deep relationships ever, all of them.
Well, firstly, you can find bad examples of anything in the entire world if you want to look hard enough for it, right?
Yeah.
But secondly, I mean, the depths of some of the female friendships that I've observed in my life and how they can be there for each other, and without it always having to be like that, they can also be emotionally fraught relationships, but of course they are just there and supportive in a way that I think that it is rare that male friendships get there. I think in general, female friendships get there in a way that you may only get there with your closest male friends.
Well, that's why I am obviously clearly pro women, but working on my untangling my ideas of men so that I can hopefully have the courage to attach my life to one and stop stiff arming all of them so that I can have a child. And but I want only.
Do you feel like you have to have one of them in your life to have a child, or would you have a child without?
I would have a child without, but I still have a very romantic view that I want my ultimate soulmate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
But I don't know. We'll see because the clock is ticking. So who knows? But I do feel that a lot of men, especially the mental health, is a problem because they don't there's my girlfriends, there's nothing they don't know about me. They know everything, and they're ride so hard for the wins, and they're there picking you off the ground, and it's I don't know if it's like that for men.
No, I don't think it is. Or I don't think it naturally is. You have to ask for it with men. If you really need it, you can find people that you can have those levels of friendship, for sure. And I do think that there is a difference between Australian men and American men in the way that we relate to each other.
In what way?
I mean, having lived in both places, there is
when did you live in America?
So I lived in LA on and off for almost 8 years, doing comedy in the US. So just traveling, being on the road, doing clubs and stuff. And so, but I would just do it in back and forward. So I'd do 3 months here and then 3 months over there sort of thing.
Maybe I'll be the new Wil Anderson.
Yeah, well, you can do it in reverse. It works both ways.
Yeah.
It's only one flight.
Right. Right. I need a spaceship. Right.
But I do think that there is, Australian men can be very stunted in the way that they talk to each other as well.
Oh, really?
And, but just in a different way, I think, to American men. There is this culture of this is a thing that they say a lot, is that men don't like to have face-to-face conversations. They like to have side-by-side conversations. Have you ever heard this before?
I haven't heard it about men, but I have heard the statistic that if you want to have a serious conversation with someone, that the intimacy is much easier if you're walking. So if you take a walk to have the conversation while you're in movement. Yeah,
so it's a very similar sort of theory, which is that women are fine with communicating face to face, but men are much more comfortable communicating side by side, and it's part of
Like
the
at the
reason.
bar.
Go to a bar, go to a game,
Right.
go to a something.
Yeah.
Go and watch a thing, be at a thing, whatever, and they're more comfortable to talk to each other when you don't have to. You can say your ideas a little more outward rather than
Right.
straight to the other person. Just like really like simple things like that. So in Australia, there's been a lot of talk around male mental health.
Oh,
like,
good.
big.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's been probably for the last sort of 10 or 15 years, a huge topic of discussion in our sort of community, particularly through the prism of like sport. You know, a lot of it's become through, sports people who were kind of those traditional male role models that didn't talk about these sort of things, that were all about, being tough and getting hit in the head and whatever it might be. A few people coming out of that and then talking to groups in society that maybe previously hadn't felt like it was okay, right?
Yeah.
Is that too much, what I just said?
No,
Is that
it's
okay?
not too much. It's like, it's something I never cared about until it affected me.
Right.
So.
Do you know Movember?
Yes.
So Movember was invented in Australia. You know that, right? The Australians came up with that, which
But
is
that was for testicular cancer, I thought.
But it became a men's mental health. Like that's what a lot of the money comes to now,
So
right?
no testicular cancer anymore.
No, it seems fine. Turns out you can live with one ball. So turns out you only need one.
So they just
Turns out that
ditched?
they were like, you know what, that spare one is actually like, you know what? We only all need one. It is a
I love
design
that. Wow.
imperfection.
Good for you guys. Yeah, who gives a shit about your nuts?
Did you know that, by the way, you only do need one testicle?
Yeah, I did know that because actually one of my brother's friends just had the surgery and he was really making a lot of jokes about only having one ball and having a funeral in his garden.
Oh.
And then
Did he bury it in his garden?
I don't believe so, but he really was just joking at my
I wonder
birthday.
if they let you bring it home. Would they let you
I don't
bring
know,
it
but
home?
he was talking about how they were asking if he wanted a prosthetic one, and it's like, if you're married, like, why do you need another one? It's just like I get if you're
Symmetry?
like 17 or something. But no, that is funny that you bring up Movember. I forgot about Movember because I feel like that was really big in the U.S. like, I don't know, 12 years ago. But as I've been...
Yeah, I think they pivoted the whole making it about men's health rather than about one specific
I
thing.
didn't know that because I've been walking around here and I've remarked to everyone about how every man has a mustache. Is that related or just like
No, that's just the area of Sydney you're in.
Sure. Okay, all right. Okay, Wil, what is your skincare routine like?
Pretty non-existent, honestly.
Okay, please walk me through it. Thank you.
A little bit of sunscreen.
Okay. Which one and what SPF?
Turns out, there's just been a huge study into the idea that a whole bunch of them haven't got the SPS that they have been advertising, which is unfortunate.
I've heard a lot of word about this.
Yeah.
It causes cancer. It doesn't cause cancer. And skin cancer.
Yeah, no, we've had the...
Who has the answers?
We had the opposite here. There was a couple of companies that basically, it was meant to be SPF 50 and it was like more like an SPF 10. It just wasn't what they were advertising on the bottle sort of thing. So,
and who was the whistleblower?
I don't know who, but there was a bit.
And
it was quite a big scandal in a country where
close to the equator.
Well, we used to have the biggest hole in the ozone layer. It's so hot here, like you get burnt here very easily compared to a lot of places in the world. And so,
I know.
Skin cancer is one of the big killers in Australia. So the idea that this thing that we all thought, we had this national campaign called Slip, Slop, Slap. So slip on a shirt, slap on sunscreen, and slap on sunscreen and slap on a hat, and so that was like this big iconic Australian campaign to always wear sunscreen.
Already.
And so. And then I do television, so like once a week they put makeup on me. So
What's your television?
I have a television show here. It's like a panel.
Why didn't you tell me that before? I would have introduced you as I just said world famous comedian.
I don't care.
But I'm very interested.
But it doesn't matter.
But it's very interesting
But
to me.
it's only interesting in regard to the skincare routine, which is
not.
once a week they put makeup on me, which means that once a week I do a proper skin cleanse and put like a moisturizer.
So you don't wash your face any other day?
I wash it, I just wash it daily.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's really none of my business.
But that's what I do.
What's your panel show about?
What's
it called?
It's called Gruen, Gruen, Gruen.
Oh, so everyone else knew that, and now I have egg on my face. This man has a television show called Gruen.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we've been doing it for 18 years. And Yeah, sorry, I just said that because I thought it would be funny, but that is true. And it's about advertising and marketing. It's a comedy. We examine and make fun of advertising and marketing, but with people who are experts in advertising and marketing.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, people seem to like it.
Especially because I am anybody's dream consumer. Okay, what makes you feel alive?
What makes me feel alive? I like walking outside.
Guess what?
What?
I love walking too.
Yeah.
My two favorite things are eating and walking. Hate standing.
Hey, do you? Okay, so now this is interesting to me because I love to eat. I'm one of those people who think, oh, food, it's just a fuel, and they're like, I'm going to eat this nutritional sludge that, like, yeah, the worst. Like,
I hate people who say, eat to live, don't live to eat, and it's like, shut up, bitch. French fries are incredible. And they will make you lose your mortgage and 2 kids.
Any day, all I'm doing is thinking about what I'm eating next. Like and I enjoy eating so much. Like
me too.
And it's about so. No, you said eating and walking. Now this is what I want to ask you: do you eat and walk at the same time, or are you doing them as 2 separate activities?
Oh no, they're 2 separate activities.
Yes,
except for once in a while.
Sitting down.
Yeah. No, I really
walk separately.
Yeah, like I love my favorite thing. I'm famous, love to go to sleep early. I don't like to be awake late.
What time are we talking?
I'm like the sleepiest woman alive, as all the Blair brothers know, and is mentioned 20 times a podcast. Well, if I don't have like some sort of late show that I have to be up for, I'd love to be in my bed by 9 or even earlier, watching TV.
I love the way you live.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with
I'm
what
a
you said so
cozy
far.
burrower,
Yes. But that's also because your other work, it's late night work. And
I know.
on the times that you're not there, you get to be at home in your bed at whatever time you want. You go to bed, if you go to bed at 7 o'clock, I don't mind.
Oh, thank you, Will.
You go there and you have a good old time.
Thank you. You're literally the only person alive to support me with this. Because I say
you remember that I am supporting you in this. Next time you want to go to bed at 7 o'clock, you remember that someone in Australia once said to you, I believe in you.
Yeah, a man with a very important, explosive comedian with a TV show of 18 years.
18 years, yeah.
I had comedian Becky Lucas on, and she was like, if you really want to be a mother, then you have to go on 3 dates a week. I said, bitch, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Are you kidding me? I don't want to go look for this man.
Yeah. But also, I was around when Becky met her partner, and that's not what she was doing. So she's just lying to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, everyone's got advice.
She was doing support gigs for me back when I remember she was like, she wasn't dating 3 nights a week.
God. Okay. What's a weird ritual you have?
That's a good question. I like that question.
Thank you very much.
Can you give me an example of what a weird ritual you would have might be, and give me some thinking time? And what about one that I might have? Or is there an area of my life that you're interested in that you think I might have a ritual about?
No, it could be anything, and I understand because it is such an open question. This happens to me. I sometimes get paralyzed. Like if someone asks me what my favorite movie is, it's like I've never seen a movie in my life. But I have a lot of rituals. Like I write in my journal every day since I was a child.
Okay, that's pretty.
I enjoy it. I mean, I have a lot of little things. Like I have to have a gallon of water with me. I have to have my Aquaphor. I have to have my sunglasses. I don't know if those are rituals. I really enjoy my skincare. It's very ceremonious to me.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have rituals.
No,
I don't think I'm a ritual person. In fact, I think my ritual is not having rituals because my days are very different. I bet there probably is one. I just can't think of what it is.
I know you have one.
I mean, I must have one.
You don't talk to yourself in the car or anything?
No. Sometimes to encourage myself, I will. I don't know if this is a ritual, but sometimes I will So my name is Wil Anderson.
Yeah, I know.
My nickname.
Thank you for telling me again.
My nickname has never been Ando. No one has ever called me Ando. But in Australia, we're quite famous for shortening names and adding an O. So that's often how we would do nicknames in Australia. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Robertson might be a Robbo, right? That sort of so I never got Ando though. So that was, but I will refer to myself as Ando sometimes to encourage myself. I'll be like, oh, come on, Ando, you can do it.
Oh, I like that.
Even though nobody else ever calls me that nickname.
Maybe that's your spiritual self, your higher self coming through.
That's not a ritual though. I didn't get close to ritual.
It's kind of ritually.
Do you floss?
Floss?
Floss your teeth.
Yeah, I do. I did it actually.
Have you always flossed?
Yeah, I use those picks though, which they say is not the same thing, and it's because I was having
my dentist says it's better than what I was doing before, which was pretending to floss.
Yeah, well, apparently that was like everyone for a lifetime, and then now they say it's like it's like the main cause of Alzheimer's if you don't floss.
Yes.
But no, I was just flossing right before you came in here because I was trying to have a bite of my chorizo roll to get some nourishment for some brain power for this podcast.
When I was 15 years old, I had my tooth knocked out.
By who? A cow's foot?
By another kid at school. We were just playing lunchtime football.
He was jealous of you sewing.
And he just he shouldered me.
On
and
purpose?
No, it was just during a game of sport.
Oh, okay.
And
it was an accident.
It popped out my tooth, middle tooth down the bottom. They put in my local dentist put in a temporary bridge.
Sure.
And he said, this is just temporary. This tooth, this isn't your permanent tooth. You will have to get this replaced. And so I did last week, 36 years after.
Well, that was a fucking good temporary tooth. Shout out, what's your dentist's name?
Dr. Wooten.
Shout out, Dr. Wooten. Thank you. 36 years,
I assume
baby.
he would be well and truly dead of natural causes by now.
Oh, okay.
But regardless,
rest in peace, Dr. Wooten.
Dr. W.
Dr. W.
So I now, for the first time, so my entire comedy career, I had this false tooth that just had a big hole down the bottom, you could had air through it and stuff like that. Not at all. That's why I just through sheer not needing to do anything about it, I didn't do anything about it for so long.
See, men are really odd in that way.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. And even now I realize it's very weird now that I have a proper tooth in my mouth and realize you're not meant to have that little whistle through your tooth that I've had for 36 years.
Right.
Yeah. So this is really the first. In fact, this might be the first podcast.
Flossing.
So I've started really flossing.
Oh, this is a spaced out exclusive.
Yes.
Bam, bam, bam. We need a sound effect for that. This is an extremely important moment, spaced out exclusive. Okay. Wow. I feel really cool about that. Okay. So flossing now would. What'd you say? So flossing is your ritual now.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. Yes.
You got to it.
I've got to a real.
And you're using the string. You're not using the sticks.
I'm using the string on the stick.
Sure.
So,
Same.
the stick string, and then I'm using the picksters.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah, that's my product endorsement of the day. If you're a person who never flossed before, picksters are that's your kind of intro to other flossing, I think. Once you get your hand around the pickster and you're like, okay, I can handle a pickster, maybe I'll
tell you this, Will. Because everyone knows on here I don't follow anyone on Instagram, but I do TikTok. I really like TikTok.
Okay.
And I somehow got manipulated into buying one of those floss power washers with 100 horsepower for your mouth that's supposed to do water flossing, and then I got it and I was like, this is not for me. I don't I'm getting ghost busted. My whole face is getting
Is
blasted.
this an example of one of these things
yes,
that you might...
in the middle of the night.
Okay, yeah. All right, you know what? We should draw a line under this.
I know that. Okay, do you believe in God?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't. I believe that...
Did you ever?
No. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, before I, had a chance to make up my own mind about it, I did.
Sure.
Yeah, I was raised in the Church of England, which is Anglican church. So, the kind of mildest version of the Christian church, it doesn't have that Catholic sort of, guilt and hell and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But
Where the king, changes the Bible to whatever they feel that year.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe of what it was. And it was so just hymns at Christmas and, love each other and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Sure. But, first before you do it to them, just check if, they done unto them what you done unto you, that sort of thing. It was that sort of vibe. Right. And then, so my grandmother was lifelong religious, and my mother, I think, is slightly religious but doesn't go to church. Yeah. My dad never came to church. And then when I was about age 12 or 13, I kind of stopped being interested in any of that. And then, so I'm one of those ones who believes that there was nothing before and there'll probably be nothing after, but I like this bit in between where it seems to be quite incredible.
Whoa, you're freaky. Okay, so, but what if, do you have children?
No.
Okay, so what if you see, a bunch of stars in the sky or something? Does that make you weep? Them? You don't think anyone, Like you don't think anything
It doesn't.
existed?
No, I don't need. Like, do I think that the sky is majestic? Yeah, I mean, incredible. Do I think that the stars in the universe are incredible? Yes.
What psychedelics have you done?
Does it what?
What psychedelics have you done?
DMT,
Wait, so you
acid, magic mushrooms,
so you did how many times did you do DMT?
twice.
And like in the 10-second version or the ayahuasca version?
No, the 10-second version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you do ayahuasca,
so I would say this, that I think that being a human being is incredible enough without having to like think in my world that there was someone who created it all. Like seeing the stars in the sky look majestic enough to me just because I see the stars in the sky. It doesn't make them any less majestic that I know that they were formed by being like gas in the universe and the gas got extremely cold and that cold gas interacted with the gravity and that gravity acted on that gas and it turned into stars and that's how stars are born and you know that we can actually as human beings measure that through the universe because we can take these photographs of like like billions of light years away. That's magical to me. That's to me the fact that some dude, I imagine, but let's say a team of people who weren't just dudes. Well, this is more a reflection on these industries not being open to women back in the time when it happened. No, but that's what I mean. Like, I genuinely mean that these were the things that they didn't allow women to do for a while. These days, it would be hopefully a much different situation.
no, because they were stuck sewing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can do the uniforms for the astronauts.
In science class.
The astronauts will need to be wearing something when they're walking on the moon, and that's your job,
the
ladies.
Skirts.
You're astronauts
Get
as
to
well.
it, broads.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, they'll need cheerleaders when they get back to Earth. It's one small step for man. We don't know what the women are up to right now.
The women you stay behind.
They're sitting down. That's what they're doing right now. So, Houston, we have a problem.
Yep.
So, the idea that initially we came up with this idea that we could just go, well, we can photograph the universe and we can work out what these things are. Somebody did that. A human being did that. A God didn't need to do that. Like just a person did that. I think that's amazing. And that's the thing that I find stunning. You know, I don't need to believe that there was someone else who imagined it all to think it's miraculous.
Okay, well, what if you get run over by a Ford F-150, but you're still half alive? Are you like saying, God, 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 please help me, please help me?
No.
So you don't say anything to anyone?
Well,
like
no,
if you're scared, you don't say anything? Not even in your deepest, darkest, most fearful hour? You never even cry out to anyone?
I mean, you only gave me two options, and I think one of them was a false narrative because, like...
No.
Because it's not a binary decision, right? Like to not cry out for anyone or to cry out for God, right? If I would cry out, my argument would be, for someone who has the worldview of me, if I were half run over, the person that I would cry out for would be like a medical professional.
Well, yeah,
like
but
someone to take me to
yet.
a hospital, right?
Yeah, but they're not there yet, Will.
But I'm not going to waste my energy that I might need for surviving this terrible accident I've been in crying out to someone who doesn't exist and is not going to be able to help me in that scenario.
But I don't believe God is like some man.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in that case, I'm wasting my time to yell out regardless, right?
No way, not even close. What about the ancestors? What about the deceased ones? What about the angels?
Yeah.
All of them, they're all there. Your light team. But yeah, I don't with religion. I don't know what you're laughing at, Will. I didn't say one thing funny. Not one thing funny has been said. Okay, let's move on. This is a very shrewd interview. Do I sound like Mark Maron? I think so.
I feel like you're the new...
He passed the torch.
Yeah. It breathed into you.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
I think everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Are you neurodivergent?
Not diagnosed as anything.
What do you suspect?
I mean, there's elements of how my brain works or fixates on things or whatever.
Special interests?
Yeah, special interests, whatever.
Like what? Sewing?
No, I don't think I get hyper fixated, but the way that my brain patterns work clearly are, if I need to, it's been really good for me in my career really, which is that capacity to be able to go, hey, you need to learn all about this thing this week and be really fascinated about it for a week. And then I can kind of put it aside. It's not very sticky to me, things, but I do, my brain really loves being able to really kind of go very deep on an
Me
idea
too,
or
yeah.
pick something apart or super explore it. Like this year I've been doing like
eels.
crowd work shows, but like they're improv shows, like
Right.
basically. And the thing I love about those is that idea of you can just take one thing and just like explore every single thought or angle or idea or whatever it might be that you have about something. And I like that.
You can only do that if you've been doing comedy so many years, because otherwise, people don't have the skill for that.
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm old and I have been doing comedy for heaps of years.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool that
Yeah.
you can just do that. Sometimes I wish I could do that. But I will once in a while do that, but I'll only do it in like a room for like 20 people.
Yes.
Because
but that's okay.
Yeah, so that I can, and I'll set the ticket really really low so that, and I'll write on the thing, I want everyone to know what they're,
Good.
so that I can try and get the confidence to do that.
But I think that's good. Like that's you do a little bit of it, right? Like you have a little taste. You go, what's this like? You do it in a safe environment.
Well, I really am into writing. I always have been, because I was a writer way before I started comedy, and I only accidentally became a comedian. I was in grad school to become a novelist, and then I just thought I was doing.
What sort of novel were you going to write? Have you written a novel?
No.
Are you going to write a novel, do you think, at some stage?
If God, divine loving intelligence, not a man, woman, or person in the sky, just the divine loving intelligence that makes butterflies and eels and stuff, allows it. I hope to write one when I'm older and slow down from all the touring that I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do for your mental health? Do you go to therapy?
I have been to therapy. I'm not currently going
Did you
to
like
therapy.
it?
Yeah, but I've been to a whole bunch of different therapists over the years. And, the big thing with therapy, as I would always say to people is, you don't, just because your first experience isn't
that's
great,
what I say.
go and see somebody else. It's like anything. It's like going to see a
say the same
physiotherapist or
thing.
whatever.
Yeah.
The gym, whatever it is that you want to practice, piano teacher. There might be the whiplash style of piano teacher, like a music teacher who's going to throw stuff at you, or the gentle one who's going to make you fall in love with the thing that it is. You've got to find the one that suits you. Some people like to be yelled at in personal training.
Right.
Some people like to be encouraged.
Sure.
It's the same with therapy. And yet it's the one area where I think people don't go into it with that idea of going, I've got to find the one that works for me. The most recent one that I had been seeing, I knew was the one for me when halfway through the first session when you've got to do the previously
the
on, right?
Yeah.
Like here's all the stuff that it might be.
Yeah, the highlights.
Yeah. She's halfway through, she said, just so I know, how much of this do you need me to fix and how much do you still need to monetize for your job? And I said, you might be the one for me. I feel like you understand.
Oh my gosh, she clocked your ass. Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, that's funny. I always say the same thing because, I'm quite a cerebral person, and I had therapists where I was just doing talk therapy, and I realized I was just intellectualizing things, and I wasn't feeling myself making actual change or progress in my life and the things that I wanted. And then I got my therapist that I have now, which is who I think is a goddamn genius, best therapist in the universe. And so I always tell people, it's like dating, you go have some introductory sessions with multiple people, or just what I do is whenever I've needed a new therapist, I call 5, and I just get a vibe from the phone if I'll like them, and then I call the top 2, schedule an appointment. But if I don't like them, I'll do another round, because otherwise you'll literally get nothing out of it if you don't like them or connect with them. It's the most vulnerable scenario you could put yourself in.
So I have a podcast that I do called Philosophy, which is when I ask people about their life philosophies, and we've been doing it for 12 years. And the secret that I don't like to tell people is that it's really cheap therapy, because I talk to people about how they live their lives and what they think life is all about. But in the bit before we start doing the podcast and the bit after we do the podcast, when we're just having a chat, you basically just use other people as therapy as well. It's a really convenient way to check in with your friends every week.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, men need to do that. See, that's why there's so many male podcasts. so that they can have an in-depth conversation. And, that's the only way they'll do it with face-to-face without cameras. It is the one way.
No, you've got to get a camera and a microphone.
Okay, what makes you feel the funniest? You're allowed to have water. You need some more water?
What makes me
want me to
feel?
refill you?
Thank you. That would be lovely. I would really appreciate if you would refill me. Are you happy to refill
This
me?
is great TV.
This is good TV. This is like keeping hydrated. It's a
Okay.
giant bottle of water. It was,
'cause I'm a water
you know what?
freak.
And also, you brought up the water earlier in the episode, so that's like a Chekhov's gun
I have to-
situation where, like, you know, the water, like, you know, this has
have to
been
have it.
it's been a through line in this conversation.
Okay, what makes you feel funniest?
What does make me feel funniest? I think that I am, like, when you're playful, right? Like, playful is when you're funniest. Just being the most playful that you will, like, being silly in a situation where people don't think that it is appropriate to be silly.
Right,
Like,
that is the funniest.
I love being silly in like a place where like people have gathered for silliness, but
Yeah.
it's even more fun to just not obey the social
Sure.
like norms or mores of a place where
Then you get the thrill of mischief and it
Yeah.
magnifies it.
yes,
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I like that. But like, so that's with your friends then.
I think so.
Okay.
It's got to be with yes,
And
not
what about
for
you- what
not
about-
for strangers.
Okay, and what about your partner? Not that it's any of my business.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys like get really silly together?
Yeah, I think the couples who have fun together are the best couples.
So you guys like really have a lot of laughing together.
I think that's to me in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like having someone that I can just like, and I always think I choose people who are funnier than I am, like who make me laugh.
I love this. See,
And-
this man, this professional comedian, world famous. I assume you date women.
Yeah.
Thinks women are funniest.
Yeah. I do think that, I think it's just the most important thing for me. Like, because I like funny in general. The reason I became a comedian
Yeah,
was
you
like,
wanna have fun.
I liked hanging out with funny people and I wanted people who like thought that things were funny. And when I choose people to be my friends or
Yeah.
like my loved ones,
Yeah.
funny is the thing that I rate highest out of all the qualities that someone can have. Like, it's good to have
Right.
a range of other qualities
Sure.
also that go with funny, because as we both know, you know, like funny, there's lots of terrible people who are very funny. And here's the list.
I've dated
now we're
them,
doing the list. Here
and
they
I've
come.
dated them.
So,
I have to say, and I have to say the otherwise. Like, since I started comedy, all my long-term relationships, like I had like 3 with comedians, and like it was so exciting, and like they're so charismatic at the time, and like you know, smart and all this stuff. And so different from like the men that I grew up around. Not that those guys aren't funny, but in a different way. And I found funny suddenly became the least important thing on my list. I was just like, oh, I would like someone with a pure heart and sort of a nice gentleness about them
Yeah, I
that
think-
has.
I think you've got funny covered. You know what I mean? You don't need to be adding extra funny. You just need someone who's fun and loving.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
considerate
exactly,
and caring.
kind. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gentle, because I have a
I feel like you've got.
heartbreakingly sensitive soul.
Yeah, I get that. That's
but,
okay.
But I got mixed up really with
Yeah.
and then which you know I have to take responsibility
Sure.
for, but then learn. But now you know that some of these fools, because you know they want a D1 baby, and I'm like, oh honey, no, I have sworn you guys off. You missed your chance. But then when I go on a date with when I go on these goddamn Hinge dates, when I open the app once every 6 months, when I agree to a date at 5:30 p.m. and then I'm like, oh yeah, wow, a lot of movie quotes, huh?
So, okay, what? Let's.
I need something in the middle.
All right, what's the perfect in the middle then? So, say you opened up the Hinge profile and it's not movie quotes. What is it that would you go? Oh, hang on, this is a bit more my style.
Oh, well, they're not on their profile. This is happening live.
Yeah, well, tell
unfortunately.
me. Like, what is the?
Well,
give me the.
it's like-
give me a little bit more of the picture of what we're looking for here.
Well, I didn't understand this whole thing because, like, I always have all these friends in comedy,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, I could never be friends with an unfunny comedian. I could never date someone unfunny. And I'd be like, really? I'm friends with half of you I don't think are funny. I think you're lovely people that I just enjoy and care about.
Yeah.
I don't,
I mean,
you know, like, that is not what makes a valuable relationship to me, even though like I love having hilarious friends. But like to me, I'm like, that's such a weird thing as a comedian. But I get now as I'm older, like I do need a happy medium. I just came to associate like someone really funny with scary. But yeah, like when I would go on these dates, sometimes I'd be like, whew, yeah, like I'm really doing the heavy lifting here.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling yeah. So it's like, but then like, you know, I'm the youngest of older brothers, and they're all very funny to me.
Now,
like
would
they're
you
totally
consider-
normal people.
Would you consider an Australian man?
Oh, yeah,
Because
of course
like
I would.
we've got this plan here of like getting you over here 6 months of a year. Like one of
Do
the
you know
ways that
any
we
of
could
them?
do this. Well, there's heaps of them. Like,
But
there's
do you
heaps
know
of-
any non-comedian ones? I'm here for 2 more days. So.
How I mean, yeah, but this might be the reason to come back. Well,
Oh no, I'm trying.
we
I
might
just
be-
asked my agent to if they could submit me to Melbourne Comedy Fest in March.
That's a good, yeah, all right. 'Cause see, I think Melbourne
could
is a
come
good
right
place.
back.
I feel like let's put this on our vision
Okay.
board. So say you would come back to Melbourne,
Yeah.
and you're going to come to Melbourne in sort of like March, April,
Yeah.
and so this gives us a good
That's
amount
4
of
months.
time, right?
4 months.
Yeah, this is a good
Yeah,
amount of time to
5.
find this like a group, a selection.
Yeah.
Like, you know, enough of a pool that you can choose from
Right.
of what you're looking for. So
Right.
is there any age limits? Like, what are
Yes.
your so give us a range. Do you give me a bottom and a top range that you're kind of thinking? Just so that I just need some parameters here of what we're working with, you know?
Well, without really revealing my never before heard
No,
age.
you don't have to say yours. Just give us a...
I've always dated older guys because I was the youngest in my family and the only girl, you know, with older brothers. And I just feel at this point when I'm looking to start a family, because I really would like to be a mother,
Yep.
that I need someone who is very family oriented
Yes.
and wants that as well. And not because I want it, they want it for themselves
Yes.
and have wanted that. That was the thing I found with, as I learned a little bit as I got older, like these comedians that I dated, they would say they want, like, they'd be like, oh, let's get married and all
Yeah.
this stuff. But I'm like, you don't know what that is, or like, you haven't thought deeply about it. I want to be with someone who's like always wanting to get married and it like means something to them, and be a father and has their own career. And, you know, yeah, it's just like a very nice, ironclad values, and nice, and likes to be the outdoors, and likes to go to bed early.
Okay, outdoors and go to bed early. Okay, yep, okay, I
That
like
could
this.
be bad for Aussie, though. They'll go to bed early. I could stretch, maybe. I don't know. But,
yeah.
but maybe the older ones, they don't care.
Yes, but also, like, within any population, you're going to find some people who are happy to go to bed early. I think that's fine. I don't think this is, and also, you don't have to like go to bed at the same time all the time. Or
I know,
are you
you're
a
right.
person that like would like in a relationship? Would you be happy if you know some of the time you just don't go to bed at the same time?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Fine. Well, then I don't think that's a deal breaker.
No, but
I don't
it's
think
like
that's
one
an
of those
issue.
things. Like I bring this up a lot.
Yeah.
Also, my one of my best friends, Amy Silverberg, brilliant comedian and author. Go buy her book. First time, long time out now. She always says like she thinks a lot of the success of the relationship is someone who likes to is like you have to like to leave the party at similar times. Like if someone always wants to be the last at the party and someone always wants to go, it's better if you match up. I mean, obviously there can be some variance sometimes, but like for the most part, you know, someone who always wants to be out and someone who always wants to go home aren't going to be like always on the same page.
I agree with that. I think it's good to have a little bit of, you know, but there's nice to have a
No,
little
it doesn't
bit
have to be black and white. Like,
exactly.
obviously, it's
But
malleable.
this is good.
Yeah.
This is giving us good parameters. So, okay, so I'm not asking for specifics on age. I just want like a minimum bottom and a maximum top, just so that we've got like a, you know, an age range. It can be like 20 years of an age range. I don't mind. Just like give us a sort of like, you know, what couldn't be? What are the numbers that wouldn't be considered?
Okay, not below 35.
Okay, so nothing below 35 is being
No, I
considered.
get these like
Yep.
young men messaging me all the time, and I go, oh, honey.
Yeah. All right. That's good. That gives us a parameter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking mid-30s and up.
Yeah, and then
Right.
like older dude, because you know I grew up like very active surf family. Like I could go older if they were like younger.
Yeah.
old,
They have to be active.
young old.
Yeah.
you know.
have to be active and old.
Yeah.
You can't be like you
Yeah.
know, you can't be a person who's got one eye on the
Yeah,
retirement
but as long
home.
as they still want to have a family.
Yeah, they want to they're
Yeah.
mature. They're ready to, they're settled into their life a bit. Do you care what they do for a job?
No, but I'd like them to be successful.
Yeah, you'd like a successful person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in any industry, you don't really mind. Is there anything that you wouldn't, like if they were, like, is there an industry
Gambling?
that you don't want them to be in gambling?
I don't want them to be a professional poker player.
No.
I don't want them to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like them to just be like a normal job, whatever they're passionate about.
I feel like so far this
and
is
they're
all
smart too, and nice, and thoughtful, and romantic.
Yes, of course.
And fun.
I mean, all those things I was just assuming we were bringing to the table.
Yeah, and shoulders as wide as Sydney.
Okay, well there we go. See, there was always going to be one deal breaker, wasn't there?
Okay. Okay. What do you do when you don't feel funny? You're the first guest where I'm like, I have to get these questions answered.
When I don't feel funny, look, I think that funny is one of those things now that I have done for long enough that I can switch it on and off when it is needed for the purposes of, that's what you realize after a while the job of the comedian is. Like, people will come up to you all the time and go, I've got friends who are as funny as you. And you're like, yeah, I bet you've got friends who are funnier than me, because they probably know all the friends and you've got all your references and you know that story about that time that you all went. I can never make you all laugh in the way that a group of friends who all have a shared experience can make each other laugh. Like, my only ability is to make people laugh in the bit between where they say, please welcome to the stage and thank you very much. Like, that's
when I'm all on the stage alone, being paid for my years and years in the trenches of learning to be funny unprompted, bitch. You could never. No, I have a joke about that in my act. How many dates I've been on where the dude, like, it is odd because, like, I talk about this, like, when I go on the dating app once every 6 months, when I see other male comics I know on there, and every picture is like their Conan Fallon, Comedy Central, like, picture. And then all me and my female comic girlfriends, like, there's not one shred of information that would have you ever know that we're comedians on there. Like, it's all hidden. And then you go on a date and then they ask you and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I am a comedian. And then they go, oh, that's crazy, because, like, all my friends always say that I should be one. And I'm like, yeah, that is crazy. That's so crazy. You should try it. Totally. I'm behind you 100%. No, but I really did learn that this year, because after my brother died, it was like my entire life it shattered, like, so unexpectedly. Like, this man, like, loved me more than anything. I'll cry. And then I had to, like, cancel. This is how I am all the time.
Hey, that seems pretty reasonable considering the circumstances, I would have said.
Yeah, I just love him so much. And then completely out of nowhere, and I had to cancel like 6 weeks of my tour, like a bunch of dates. Yeah. And then at some point, and I was like living with my parents because I was like afraid to leave them. And then at some point I was like, I have all these tour dates left. Like, I can't. And I was like, can I even do comedy again? Like, could I ever, like, I don't know how I'll ever feel funny again or like anything like that. And then I just I did the one, and it was like really big and hard, and I cried the whole time when I wasn't on stage, and I was like, who the f*** wrote these jokes? It wasn't me, bitch. You know, like, I don't even recognize this person.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, because you are a different person. Like, your whole life, that whole life is gone.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it just got better and better. Like, I got stronger where it was like I would lose myself on stage and be transported like out of myself. I
understand that so much, because there are, obviously you do something for like a long time. I've been a comedian for 31 years. And so it just means that the bad things that happen in your life are going to have happened at some point in the time when you've meant to have been entertaining people. And after a while, you do get able to, in fact, I often find that the times when I'm going through the hardest times are the times when doing comedy means the most to me, because when you are up there on stage doing your show, you can't really think about. You have to put aside everything else for a while. You can't be thinking about
paid money
right.
and paid
you
a
have
babysitter
to be in that
and
moment, and they all are going. Many of them have come to your show because they themselves have gone through something or are going through something or need to just go and be able to forget about that. So it's your job to go out there and forget about it and try to entertain them, and it's. A lot of them are there also to forget about their worries for that period of time. So you're doing a great service in that moment. You're honouring, the life of your loved ones every time you go out and bring that joy to people. It's not a disservice to them.
Yeah, that's what my dad says.
It can also be a great relief that you can just have a break from your life. For an hour and a half. And so I totally understand that.
Well, in the beginning, I felt really guilty. Even like the first couple of times I laughed, I felt guilty because I was like, why can I laugh when he does?
Yeah. But then it's the opposite, I think. Here's what I think. Here's what I think, that it's the opposite of that, which is you have more of a responsibility.
I know.
Laugh,
now
right?
I'm like, I have to live for both of us.
That's right.
And I did tour the whole year. And all these people came out and all these people messaged me because, when you're a comedian, especially before you make it big, it's still a real slog. And every weekend I'm like, are people going to show up for my shows? Are people going to buy tickets? All this stuff. And so many people kept telling me. I'd mostly share online and on my Substack. I not on stage because I'd start crying like I just did. So I was still just doing my jokes. I wasn't talking about my brother. But so many people came up and have messaged me in the past year, telling me what sharing openly about my grief has meant to them, even though I am I can't not share it because otherwise I won't be able to continue,
Yeah, but I think we've lived in a society for so long where the expectation was that you would push your grief aside and just carry on, publicly not grieving or whatever it is, so that everyone would not feel uncomfortable. And I think what people respond to now is that feeling of, because when you are in grief, it overwhelms you just often at the most unexpected times.
I know.
You're not looking for it. It's not even when you could avoid all topics that are about death or your brother or whatever it might be, and then something else would happen. You'll see his favorite bird or whatever, eat the same favorite sandwich or whatever it is, and then
his nickname was Bird. I love Bird.
Oh, well, see, there you go, right? So no one can know. It's why, in a weird way, when we talk about trigger warnings and stuff in comedy, it's a weird debate to have because you never know what will trigger you. Sometimes the most random thing will trigger you to a really heartbreaking moment.
Yeah, but I don't unless it's hate speech or gore or something. I don't want to be triggered. I want to feel it all. And I'm just I'm wide open person for better or worse. But it also has made me realize, and the amount of support that people have given me, it has made me understand how loving the world is in a way that I didn't know so viscerally before, because there's so much horrors and stuff.
It's kind of, because I've been going through something that I won't go into for someone else's privacy, but for a very similar thing where you suddenly see when everything is stripped away, all the bullshit of our lives, back to the real reality of it. People are so kind and so considerate. Earlier on we were talking about how people respond online, right? But it's the complete opposite of how people actually respond
in real life,
in real life when shit goes down. And yet we spend so much time thinking that everyone in the world is like how people are online, when often everyone in the world is actually a lot more like the people who respond in the times of the crisis, and we just need to give them an opportunity to respond to us in that way, not the other way.
It's so true. I've never realized it more in my life, and so many people love my brother so much. He had 1,000 people at his funeral, just beloved person. But I can't believe the way that the people I know in my life have shown up for me and my family, and so many strangers. And then also when you're struggling for years coming up as a comic, you're is anyone listening to this shit? And then people messaging me being you don't know me, your album, this joke, this special got me through like one of my, and I'm like, wow, I would have like really never known that or thought that. Like you forget that your comedy or work like means anything to anyone.
Is there something that means something to you? Is there anything that you've been listening to, or like, I don't mean comedy necessarily,
Yeah.
it's probably music or something else or whatever, but is there a TV show or movie? Is there something you've been finding comfort in, like in this time?
Yeah, well, I've been listening to audiobooks because for a long time I couldn't focus enough. I was like in too much pain and shock to read. So I've been doing that. Of course, this is my second summer locking into Love Island, USA. And thank God I never needed my goddamn programs more in my life. And every night I said I had to get home by 6 to watch my programs. It created ritual, it created sanctity.
But can I tell you this though? I've never seen Love Island, but I will tell you something. For a period of time, if you Googled the name Wil Anderson, mine was probably the most well-known Wil Anderson in the world, right? Now I'm third in the world, behind an American footballer called Wil Anderson, who plays in the NFL, and he's very good. And,
what team is he on?
Texas. Texas something.
Oh.
I don't know. He's very lovely, and he's done a couple of videos for me to plug my shows and stuff.
Oh, good.
He's
I won't say
very
anything
fun
rude.
guy.
Okay, we like him.
And then a guy from Love Island UK. So there was a guy from the television program Love Island UK whose name is Wil Anderson. And so now if I ever need to like put my own name into the internet, I get a lot of shirtless photos of this
Oh my
fella.
God. It's so crazy how famous they get. Like truly, they're like more famous than Rihanna. Like it is like a world craze. Oh, okay.
How are we doing on the questions?
We're
Are we
good.
doing
We're
good?
like almost at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. I know they're going to tell me that I need to finish up, but this has just been so incredible. And, okay. Do you like America? If so, what do you like about it? And what do you not like about it?
I grew up loving American stand-up comedy because
Like
America, I mean, for me, it was, I guess, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Bob Newhart.
Rodney Dangerfield?
I
Because
mean,
he's the one that I love.
So
obviously, because he's a freak.
did Just for Laughs in Montreal one year. You know how they would always get those legendary kind of like comedians to host the big gala shows they would have down there?
Yeah.
And Rodney Dangerfield was the host of one of the galas that I did. So he was old at that point, like when he was in the chair and just kind of, but he was still funny.
Dang, you got a way better host than I did.
What did you? No, you can't say now. Was Rodney Dangerfield the one that you loved? Is that who?
When I started comedy, because I grew up in Orange County, I had no reference for comedy. Like, I had never even seen stand-up comedy. I didn't see a stand-up comedy show till I was 25.
25.
And then I basically started comedy without seeing comedy. So I had, like, no reference for anything.
Because didn't you were writing, like, interviewing comedians, right? That's right.
Yeah. And then, like, I was a writer. And so when I started, like, kind of looking into things, I'm obviously always drawn to the kooky people. And I just thought he's like so funny. I made a cartoon, it's still on my YouTube, called Rodney Loves Blair, about a pigeon, about Rodney Dangerfield coming back to haunt me as a pigeon in New York City. That was like my first 2 years of comedy. It's really f***ing weird, but I liked it. But yeah, anyways, continue.
Well, yeah. So I loved American stand-up comedy. That's why I went to like work in America. That was my big dream was to, like go and do like America. So I've always loved that. It's got. It's got scary now, America, right? Like it's just.
I mean,
it's to me, like externally.
Yeah.
Like it was always one of those things where yes, we always understood the excesses of America, but now. It like is terrifying, and the further you get away from it, like being back here, I came back here in 2018 or 2019, and I thought I'll go back to America. Like I had a visa still, and I just never went back because things just got too scary for me. I was like, I don't think I need to. It was like America felt to me like if you've ever like gone out, you've got a couple of friends who've been in a relationship, but the relationship's falling apart, and they take you out to dinner with them a lot because they can't stand being with each other, and then you have to sit there while they kind of like fight with each other, and you're like, this is not really my business, and I can't solve this, and I don't want to be here anymore. That was kind of me with America.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a lot going on,
I know.
and I felt like none of it was my business, and I couldn't solve any of it, and I was like, you know what, I might just pop back to Australia, I think.
It's so disturbing, and I can't even, again, I can't even tell you like how much more peaceful I feel here. And I was in Croatia like earlier this summer, and I felt the same way. And I try not to, it upsets me so much, like crazy. So I try not to discuss it really on this podcast because I want it to be a break from the
this can be a break.
The ubiquitous
and next
just
year,
down the
when
thing.
you are living in Australia, married to an Australian man between 35 plus, he's got a successful career, he's got good values.
You gotta help me because before RFK Jr. puts me in an autistic camp.
Yeah, no. Well, you're fine here. We're not going to. You're going to be okay. Unfortunately, if you do get pregnant in Australia, in Australia, one of the terms we refer to someone being pregnant is up the duff. Have you heard that before? So if you do get married to maybe an Australian man and have a baby, they will refer to you as being up the duff. That is probably the only downside. Otherwise, it'll be a great experience.
That sounds pretty
and
innocuous for
as long as
trade.
you're fine being up the duff.
All right,
and being referred to as being up the duff, I think everything's going to be fine.
Up the duff. Okay.
Actually, it sounds good when you say it. Actually, I like it.
Okay. Last question before we got to aliens. Did you enjoy your experience on this show? And do you have any questions for me?
I've had a lot of questions for you on the way.
I know, you're right. So don't feel pressured if you have none left in the tank.
I have enjoyed it, yes.
Okay,
I very much have enjoyed it.
What if you didn't and you just lied?
Oh, well, I would have probably lied regardless, but I would have... I would have lied regardless, but I don't want you to think that in any way indicates that I didn't enjoy this experience, because I absolutely did, and I have, and I am continuing to enjoy it. I actually do have... a few more questions, actually. So, and they're mostly about this guy we're going to find you at the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
You're making I am really feeling supported right now. Thank you.
I actually think this is a reasonable thing, and I like the idea of you.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Coming to Australia and maybe like finding a nice Australian man.
That would change my life. I really need that. One of my best friends married an Australian, and then he moved back with her to where I'm from.
Well, that's okay. You're allowed to do that too.
And he called me Blairo. He calls me Blairo. And that's why I learned about your guys' budgie smugglers.
Yes.
Because all our surf boys were like, what the hell are those? But you wear them proudly.
Okay. So, all right. So here are my questions. If this person asked you out on a date, like, what would be the sort of ideal date that you would be, oh, this is great. This indicates that this is the sort of person, like, first date. This is early on. What's your kind of like great vibe for an early on first meeting?
Well, like first date, and especially and hopefully for all eternity, like I am very moved by manners and just like gentlemanliness. And I like them, like they'll say, maybe like, what do you prefer? But really, I like when they say, I made a reservation at this restaurant.
A little bit of their own.
I like assertiveness.
Initiative.
Yes, because like my life is so like I have to go be like, and so like in a relationship, I just want to be like a little woman,
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to make a few decisions, and
I like the decisions.
Yeah, and that's fine. And you don't have dietary requirements, right? Like you're eating a chorizo roll.
I have one motherfucking dietary requirement.
Which is?
No, I don't.
No, not one. Not one.
No, I had anchovies here.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, well, that's fine. That's good.
And I'm not interested in a picky either. I feel like I can't connect with him.
No, you
and the
like
passions of life.
Melbourne's a very good food city.
Oh, this is good.
I think this is like a good vibe.
You're giving me a lot of hope right now.
Do you drink?
Yeah, I drink.
Yeah. Like what sort of drinker would you say you are?
Like once or twice a week.
Yeah, okay, that feels good. Good vibe.
Like I like a martini.
Yeah, okay, cocktail. Like you're gonna. This is like a dinner and a cocktail.
Like an Aperol spritz.
Yes, all right. Yes.
When I was a young woman immersed in an army of my brothers and their friends, I could drink many, 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 many beers. But now, in my old unidentifiable age, I just like half a glass of wine, I get pretty blasted.
Good manners are obviously very important.
Yes.
Is there any deal breakers when it comes to manners or presentation?
I don't like when men wear those jeans that are so tight that they're like leggings.
Okay. Good.
I don't like men who have spray tans, which is unfortunately quite prevalent in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it makes me think that they could never chop wood or save us in an apocalypse.
Well, the good news is they are not prevalent in Melbourne,
Thank
so
God,
you're
thank
definitely not
God.
going to get spray tans.
And then I don't want motorcycles or too dangerous, and then very loud cars, autistic.
Okay, interesting. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's all the questions.
Yeah,
I
and
have.
then I think
Otherwise, you got to be a bit more open, right?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, and not some like religious super. You could be a little bit religious, like if it's like not in a nutty way.
But what if they're like me and they don't like believe in God?
That's fine as long as they let me be my fucking weird,
right.
my whimsical,
Which is what it should be anyway.
woo.
Okay. I think this is very achievable.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got a lot
you.
of confidence about this.
Wow, that makes me feel really. Oh, and I like to. They need to like the outdoors and like being active. Yeah.
Yeah, I think being active.
That's really important to me.
Mm.
Because I feel like we'll do that together.
Like what sort of outdoor activities are we talking though? Like, I mean, because there's various versions of the outdoors. Like some like one version of the outdoors is we'll go to a park and walk the dog. One version is we're climbing up like mountains and camping and etc.
In my mind, I feel like it would be really romantic to be camping. Like, I don't know. I haven't camped since I was a kid. I don't have any of that but I would love to go. I'm always searching for ways to get away from the phone and the internet and people. But like, I just like being outside. Who likes to go to the beach, likes to go to the mountains. My exercise that I do now is just I walk several miles a day, just chug along in the sun. Oh my God! Wow, this is an incredible interview, and unfortunately, we have to finish. Okay, so this is the last thing. So as I told you in the beginning, Mr. Wil Anderson, television host, famed comedian. This podcast is about pop culture, womanhood, mental health, and a little bit of aliens. So now we have reached our final segment called Galactic Gossip. And which I will give you an alien fact. And how do you feel about aliens?
I'm open to the idea that there is other life in the universe.
Oh, wow, he's open to something. We cracked him, pal. Okay. As I tell every guest on here, I never thought about aliens one time in my entire life until 2021 when the government said that they were real in the middle of COVID and nobody cared in the entire country except for me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe they are real, and I'm not like a truther, and I don't really even know that much, but I'm interested. I'm like, what if they are real? That's sort of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Along with Tom DeLonge of Blink-182.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Galactic Gossip.
On April 17th, 1897, in Aurora, Texas, local lore tells of a cigar-shaped spaceship crashing into a windmill.
Oh, yeah.
The local townspeople report discovering a deceased alien creature in the crashed debris. The pilot of this craft was given proper burial in the Aurora Cemetery, where it still rests today.
Okay.
A newspaper article of the event still exists. Says at about 6 o'clock this morning, the early risers of Aurora were astonished at the sudden appearance of the airship, which has been sailing around the country. It was traveling due north and much nearer the Earth than before. It sailed above the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, it collided with the tower of Judge Proctor's windmill and went into pieces with a terrific explosion, scattering debris over several acres of ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank, and destroying the judge's flower garden. The pilot of the ship is supposed to have been the only one aboard, and while his remains were badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world. What do you have to say about that? I feel that you think it's sensationalized.
I mean, okay, well, firstly, if there is just alien bones, they can dig them up and check, right?
Yeah, but obviously the government has an agenda because they feel like if they had to not do their version of disclosure.
But why? Why would they be covering it up?
Because like the whole world would like go like nuts or something.
Why?
I don't know. That's what they say.
They say a lot of things.
Like
don't they?
didn't they do some experiment? I really have to. They did do an experiment, and I have to look it up.
All right.
It was like in the 30s or something.
Yeah.
Where like
The
everyone
1930s?
started. Yes.
Okay.
And I had to get more specific on this because it is going to come up a lot with people. But it's where they like, I think they were talking about it, and then a bunch of people started killing themselves because they were so afraid, and just like reacted insane. So then that's why whatever.
Okay.
I have to get my facts straight because I'm not sounding.
No, that sounded great. I'm
not sounding very legitimate right now, but look, know that I know how to research, and I will come back with a vengeance. Okay. Wil, this has been the conclusion to our very storied episode. I am so pleased and grateful that you made us stop by to outer space.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Yes, where can all our listeners around the world and intergalactically find you, and what should they know about any upcoming projects besides your long-running 18-year...
My television show in Australia continues into year 19
where
next year.
He has put makeup on once a week.
Wil Anderson. I am the third most popular Wil Anderson on the internet. If you Google past the guy with his shirt off and the guy who's clearly an American football player,
okay. If we go
you
past
will find
those
me.
two obsolete
I will be the third one that pops up.
What's your handles?
I am on social media, but it's not me.
So jealous. I'm so fucking jealous. I need a TV show so somebody can be me for me.
Yeah, I got off all social media like 3 years ago or something.
No wonder you're so at peace.
And it does change your life substantially.
You guys need to help me get rich so I can get the off there. It's cancer. Okay, you guce,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I just want to thank you all the Blair Bears around the world and in outer space, and outer space, that's the one, for stopping by, supporting. It means the world to me. And please like, subscribe if you want to help build this podcast. Share videos and clips and like that or something. And follow me on socials at Blair Socci, Blair Socci. Leave many incredible reviews also, whatever you want. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.